Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK Journey video. In this video, we're going to be doing recruitment for Sonja on Old Grey Gamer's account. We're going to be taking her up to Paragon 2. And then trying her out in Dream Realm and PvP as well. So we did do some testing of Sonja on the Vietnam server yesterday. And she was honestly pretty good. Especially in Supreme Arena with the Mauler buff tiles. Buffing up like 2 allies on the Mauler buff tiles. Specifically like Harak and Shakira, it was really pretty strong. The thing about basically Sonja is that you need to have the allies who she buffs both survive, because if one of them dies, then the accumulated stat buffs onto them are going to be transferred to Sonja and basically removed from the allies themselves, and you don't want that to happen. You want the allies to be remaining buffed up for the whole fight, ideally. Okay. So far we had to go to Pity in order to get the first copy of Sonja. For Paragon 2, that is, so it's 8 copies for Supreme Plus. In total it's 20 copies, I think, for Paragon 2. So that is what we're aiming for. We're going to be getting the pop-up bundle as well. Okay, so that's another Pity hit. So far we're up to 2 copies of Sonja. Hopefully we can do better with the luck going forward and dodge Pity a couple of times. We also need to remember to sweep the Warrior Treasure because we have the Warrior Treasure today. Is that one before Pity, or was it a Pity hit again? Not really sure, but we got the pop-up bundle, so that is up to 4 copies right now. Up to 4 copies and a lot more rate-up recruitment tickets. Okay, there we go, back to back. That's looking good. So, about Sonja, should you recruit for her, should you not? Now, in my opinion, based on like the initial testing of her, her Dream Realm uses are going to be a little bit limited. I think okay, there we go. Another Sonja copy. I think it will be difficult to fit her into... Okay, back to back. Again, that is really good. Because keep in mind, the rate of actually pulling Sonja off Pity is only like a bit under a 1% chance, like which is 1 in 100. So we've been getting above average luck so far, which is great. Okay, I think we're already up to 7 copies or something. We can do one. Okay, wait a second. So Viperion has been maxed out. I'm assuming that means we can take Viperion to Paragon 4, so we'll have to switch. Yeah, we'll have to switch that out. Viperion and Sylvina, the heroes, are some of the heroes you're going to have the highest Paragon ascended, because there's so few Graveborn A-level heroes, at least until Bonnie comes out, that like these 2 are kind of on your wish list forever. Okay, to look at Sonja right now, we have the base copy and 7 additional, which means we already have her at Supreme Plus. We need to go for 12 more copies to get her to Paragon 2. Now, for her charms, there are going to be 2 you want to go for. It is either the Insight charms like Ludovic or the Arcane charms, because you want to give her skill power. The skill power is going to boost the attack buff she provides to her allies and eventually to herself as well, after her ultimate cast or after absorbing it from the allies. And also the defensive buffs that you get from that. Okay, so we still have 288 recruitment tickets left. Hopefully we can continue to beat Pity a few more times. But yeah, I think for her Dream Realm use, I think it will be difficult to fit her into a lot of teams. I think she will be good to buff up Harak to like unleash his full potential. Again, a back-to-back. We've been getting a lot of back-to-backs, which is really crazy and really good. So that is 2 more copies, and we need now 10 more in total in order for Paragon 2. Yeah, so we're going to try to sweep the Dura's Trials in order to get a skill power charms, either Arcane or Insight, to complete that. Okay, another Sonja copy, I think, before Pity, which is great. And I think it's just 2 more, and we have her to Paragon 1. So yeah, I think Dream Realm is going to be difficult for her to fit her in. And for the non-Harak teams, I think like the other heroes to buff up your team are just going to be better, most likely. Because Sonja on her own, she just doesn't have enough damage for Dream Realm bosses. And so you're mainly only using her to buff your allies, which... I mean, it can be fine, but when you consider other buffers like Smokey and Mikola, they give a team-wide attack buff, whereas Sonja's only going to give the attack buff to her 2 allies and potentially herself as well. But like we said, her own damage is pretty low Other than maybe if there's summons like Skyclops. Yeah. Okay, so that is a lot of Sonja copies already. I think we must be getting a little bit close to Paragon 2. Maybe 5 or 4 more copies needed. So I'm going to do like, we'll keep doing it until we hit Sonja maybe 2 or 3 more times. And then we're going to take a look at the number that we've gotten. Okay, but not bad luck, honestly, for this recruitment session. We're going to be taking her to plus 15 exclusive equipment as well. But you don't need to take her to plus 15. She's fine at plus 10 as well. The plus 15 gives like a higher damage reduction onto the damage taken by the Covenant allies and redistributed onto them. But it is not like, like we mentioned, it's not essential for her kit. Her plus 10 is one of her big like upgrades. Okay, so we have 7 and on top of that 12, 19. So we only need 3 more. 3 more and then we're going to get Sonja to Paragon 2. So thankfully we haven't had to use too many diamonds, but we're going to have to go burn through them right now to get 3 more copies for Paragon 2. Right? Yeah. Okay. But she is a good hero to maybe be taking up to Paragon Ascensions if you want to, because she is going to be mainly a PvP hero. In PvP, for Supreme Arena, I think she's going to be pretty strong. For regular Arena, she has the issue that like your allies find it difficult to survive, and even herself can have a difficulty surviving as well, because she is like a warrior hero. She doesn't have great tanky stats, and she's going to be up in the front line taking damage from the opponent. Okay, all we have to do is get 1 more copy. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with this recruitment session. I thought we were going to have to use a lot more diamonds than this, but we did dodge pity like quite a handful of times. Okay, so this one is going to take us to pity, but now we're done. Sonja is up to Paragon 2 with that final copy. And now let's upgrade her and then sweep the Dura trials, and then we can try basically the Heroic team, which is the overall best team for Necrodraken today. We'll try Sonja in place of Rainier. That is really the team that you're thinking, because like Rainier is a debuffer to increase the damage your team deals. But in endless bosses, HP per second damage isn't really increased by Rainier's debuff at all. It's only like true damage or non-true damage, which does increase. Like for example, in the Necrodraken team, you're using Lily May and Heroic, his damage multiplier from his ultimate that isn't HP per second, that is enhanced or increased by the debuff of Rainier, and Lily May's damage, all of it, is improved by the debuff of Rainier. So if we're going to replace Rainier, then is it really a good option? Like, is Sonja going to be enough to power up the team without Rainier on it? It could be, and we're going to have to see. But what is he? Okay, so there we go. Paragon 2, and that is looking strong. Okay. We're going to have to see, basically, if Sonja can be an upgrade for Rainier, because there still are, like, maybe 2 to 3 teams which use Rainier and Heroic together, and those are the teams we're really thinking maybe Sonja would be better than Rainier in that team. Okay, taking this to plus 15 exclusive equipment, and then we are done and good to go for the sweeping of Dura trials. So what I'm going to try to do is, like, we have already 1 insight charm, and like I mentioned, you can go for Insight, which gives you HP and skill power, or you can go for Arcane, which gives attack and skill power. For Dream Realm, Arcane would be slightly more optimal to increase her own damage, but like we mentioned, her own damage is pretty low in Dream Realm. So even if you just have the HP and skill power, it's still going to be the maximum attack buff you can provide to your allies, which is really the important part for her for Dream Realm. Okay, there we go. So Sonja is done. Now we are going to sweep the Dura trials. And we already have 1 insight charm and no arcane charms. Weird that it's showing this 2 times. Oh, these are V double plus? Okay. Okay, so we're going to sweep. We have the insight charm here. We're going to sweep middle and right, looking for either more insight charms or more acute arcane charms, and then whichever one we end up getting more of, we're gonna stick to that. Alright guys, wish me luck. Let's see what we can get on the middle. Okay, we got the insight. So we already are 1 off getting a complete insight set for Sonja, and hopefully we can get that now. We're just gonna keep sweeping the right slot. We still have 4 more attempts. Looking for the insight, or even arcane, because then like for the future would be good. Okay, we got the insight, we're done. I'm gonna leave the other sweeps, he can decide what he wants to do with them, because this is already going to be a pretty big power spike for Sonja. We honestly don't need to keep sweeping. We have the skill power complete, and honestly for PvP this is actually the optimal set, because she has a difficulty surviving and the insight charms gives her more HP percent, which will be good for her. Okay, here we go. Time for the Dream Realm testing. So the previous best Dream Realm team is the Heroic team, and I think he has it fielded. Yeah, this is the previous best team. So we're going to do one quick run of this on 3x speed, and then we're going to go for Sonja instead of Rainier. But you also then need to adjust the positioning to have Heroic being buffed and Lily May being buffed, basically. And the problem with that is then you're not going to be able to have the main Frester in front of the Heroic. Because he's good for the energy generation, but the thing is, if we have main Frester in front of Heroic, then Sonja's buff is going to be given to the Frester, and we don't want that. We want it to be given to the Heroic. So I'm going to like position the heroes in a way that yeah, that basically we still want the same eating order, but we're not going to have the main Frester in front of Heroic. Okay, so this is 83 billion. Now that is going to be very difficult to beat. 83 billion is a really solid score for today. But if we have a chance, it is going to be for today. So I'm thinking like this, for example. So in this position, basically... Oh, I want it like this. Yeah, I want it like that. This is good. Because the thing is, if Sonja gets devoured, it doesn't really matter. Because she is still, the Crimson Covenant is still going to apply the buffs to your allies, even if Sonja gets defeated. You just don't want the allies to get defeated, because then Sonja absorbs the buffs onto herself. And we have the Resonating Spell on Heroic. Yeah, this is the team I'm going to try. And we still have the E order, Mikola, and then Frester Illusion, and then Sonja after that. Assuming they're all at full health. So here we go, guys. This is going to be the Sonja test. I mean, the team looks pretty good to me. And it's going to be pretty much the optimal eating order as well. Let's see what can happen here. We could think about like devouring the Frester Illusion before Mikola, but from previous testing, devouring the Mikola first is better for this team instead of Frester Illusion. So we're just sticking to that. Now the next devour is going to be the Sonja. Okay, well actually the Illusion gets devoured before the Sonja, and that is because the Illusion was lower in health ratio. Okay, so Heroic is ramped up. He doesn't have the energy generation from the Fresto, main Fresto, but other than that, he's looking good. Now he eats the Sonja, which is good, so the Fresto and Frester Illusion can survive for longer. Like, this is basically the optimal, like, order of everything. So, if we have a chance of beating the Rainier team, it is going to be with this team setup. Would be crazy if we could do it. Things are looking pretty good so far, honestly. I want to see what happens. Oh, that's bad. He devoured the main Fresto. And that meant the Illusion also went down. So that might be a bit of RNG. But I think most of the time that is going to be how it is. That the main Fresto takes more damage. And he has a lower health ratio. So he gets devoured. I mean, Heroic could solo here. Like 17 seconds left. It is honestly possible that we could break our record. Our record is 83 billion. It's getting pretty close. 8 seconds left. Who knows? Maybe the Arcane Charms on Sonja would be the difference. This is really close. Okay. Almost 82 billion with this team. Coming really close to the Rainier team. Honestly, pretty impressive. And it shows there is some potential of Sonja for Dream Realm. Her damage output was not even that bad. Like, I think if we gave her the Arcane Charms for more attack, and then, yeah, it could potentially break the previous record, or maybe with some difference to the team positioning, but definitely not a bad score, replacing Rainier with Sonja. But one thing to keep in mind is that our Rainier doesn't have charms, right? He doesn't even have the mythic charm set, which is going to be a pretty big boost to give a bit of a more attack buff to the position swapped ally. So not a fully fair test, but definitely not bad either. Okay, really cool. So that was a good test of Dream Realm for Sonja. Now we're going to take her to the arena. Should we take her to AFK stages? We can see her use in AFK stages, maybe in the talent trials, in the Lightbearer team. But right now the Lightbearer Tassi team is completely broken. Do we have the Blast Charms onto Tassi? We almost have them. I think he should craft the final Blast Charm if he's able to craft right now. Okay, so basically I want to replace the Walker with Sonja and see if she can be a better option. But we want her to buff up... Oh yeah, like this, right? Have her buff up the Tassi and the Hewen. Something like that. Or we could... You know, we could even do it like this, right? Okay, let's try like this and see what happens. We're just watching team number 2 and seeing if it can work out well for us. It will give like more defenses to the Luca because it's not only attack buff, it's also the defense buff, which is really strong. And after Sonja's first ultimate cast, she begins ramping up. Her damage is a bit low, but she is going to be stunning the enemies with her stunning reception skill. And now Tassi is going to be hypnotizing and bursting through the opponents. So you have a pretty good amount of crowd control, like with the stuns from Sonja and then also the ultimate hypnotization from Tassi. Definitely not bad. Yeah, this is a pretty easy clear, but we could have maybe also cleared it with Walker. So it's not like I don't think Sonja is necessary, but she's doing work here with the stuns and her damage and the attack buff onto Tassi, most importantly, allowing Tassi to hit harder. She's pretty good for AFK stages. Okay, we'll just exit for right now because I'm sure he'll be able to clear this later on. So pretty good showcase of her in Dream Realm, good showcase of her in the talent stages. Should we do Supreme Arena first? Okay, let's do one Supreme Arena attack because we are rank 3 right now, and the rank 2 player we will be able to compete with because he's not fully Paragon 4 maxed out. The rank 1 player is fully Paragon 4. And that could be problematic. So we want the Harak Mauler team. This is where we want to run Sonja. But the problem is this is not a good map because Sonja cannot be placed in a tile to buff them. And even here you can't place Sonja in a tile to buff them, which is unfortunate. I think I'm going to move them here. I'm going to move these teams around. And we're going to have... Okay, we will go for... Well, I don't think Kruger is good. We will go for Sonja here to buff up the Harak and the Shakir. I want to go for Coco as well. Let's go for Coco. And finally we can go for... Oh, Fresto can't fit. Yeah, this is the problem. Fresto can't fit. I think it might just have to be Brutus or something. Brutus and forget about Mikola. Or it can be Mikola and... Yeah, I think Brutus and forget about Mikola. If we have Brutus in here. Because we need some tank. And then Coco for the damage reduction. Resonating Spell. Resonating Spell could be fine, but I think there are other good options as well. Like Frontline Spell would not be bad here. I think it would actually be pretty good because our main damage is going to be in the back line. Let's go for the Frontline Spell. Okay, team number 2 is our Diurnal team. So normally Rainier's run here, right? But he's going for a more supportive comp with Hewen. And I guess Talene is providing the Celestial Hypogean. Okay, let's try this team. We can try this team, and team number 3. Yeah, Tassi on the buff tile, or on the energy tile is really good. I mean, Arden is not the best because of the opponent. They have the Mauler buff tiles. But let's just see if this can work. Most importantly, we're looking at the Sonja team. Okay, which is team number 1. So we go into the enemy field. The banner has been applied for the frontline spell. This is going to buff up Shakir and the Harak. Now, importantly, look at the buffs already on our team, and Harak and Shakir have no risk of dying. Like, they're full on HP, and even if they got taken down low, they would be immune to fatal damage. Sonja is having an issue surviving here, like she's getting low on health. But after casting ultimate even one time, she's gonna get a lot of healing. Yeah. So, and even if Sonja dies, is not a big problem because you still have basically the buffs applied to your allies. Okay, the Harak is doing work because he got Rainier position swapped. Don't know if our Diurnal will be able to nuke hard enough, but combined with Talene, it might be enough. Yeah, Harak is down. Yeah, we got this. Okay. So that is, like, I think Sonja with the Mauler team, especially with Harak, is really strong. But even without Harak, just two strong damage dealers like Shakir for one of them on the buff tile. Shakir gets so much value from being buffed. Because, yeah. So Tassi has a problem against Mauler teams. I thought this team was going to lose, but the other teams look solid enough to win. Okay, now time to move on for the arena testing. So in the arena, we are rank 2 right now. We're going to be attacking all of the top rankers. So Rachel has a diagonal team. We're not going to be able to Sylvina jump onto diagonal anymore. It will just have to be Vala. Vala will be able to mark the diagonal. Sylvina will not be able to jump onto him though. That is the issue. Oh no, we can. We still can jump onto him. Okay, so then we're going to have Sonja buffing up our two assassins onto the diagonal. We're going to nuke him down quickly. And then for the other heroes, I mean, we could just run whatever we wanted. What else could we run? Can run Thorin to protect the Sonja more so she can survive for longer. And then finally we can just run Lily May, who is always a good option. Lily May is always a good option. And I think I'm gonna go for the confining spell because we're gonna kill the diagonal pretty quickly. And then we're just gonna want to lock down the opponents with a confining spell. Lily May is good, but I think there are a lot of good options here, to be honest. And even Freyaster can be run instead of the Sonja if you wanted to. It would be pretty good. I mean, sorry, Freyaster instead of the Thorn. Okay, let's try Freyaster instead of the Thorn with Delusion in front of Sonja. Alright guys, here we go. Yeah, I mean, the diagonal is gonna be nuked down. Like, I find it hard to believe he would be able to survive. Yeah, he can't survive the burst of Vala plus Sylvina. And then the whole team basically goes down after that. Because Lily May cannot solo a full 5-man team from full health. Yeah, and that is game over. So that is the thing about diagonal. Like, he's super strong, especially on offense. But like, on defense, you can just easily kill him with Vala and Sylvina strategy. Okay, we have a rank 5 player. Let's see. Okay, they're on the energy tiles. So for the energy tiles, I have done testing. And it seems like for example, the Tassi comp is still pretty strong here. And, okay, they have the Lily May. We're gonna go for Iron of our own. We're gonna go for Tassi on the... I actually think here, because the Lily May is gonna interrupt my Iron, I think Tassi on the back tile actually works. So we're gonna go for that. And then we have Sonja. Sorry, that's not Sonja, that's Vala. Sonja here. To buff up Tassi further, because she's our main damage source. And then we have Freyasto. So do we want damage? Yeah, damage reduction onto the Lily May. Actually, no, I want the main Freyasto on the right side, because the illusion is going to be tanking the damage of the opponent Lily May. And I want to eat through the Iron, so I'll put my Lily May here. In Lightning Spell, I mean, yeah, I mean, Sonja would then be immune to the crowd control. Well, there's not really much crowd control on the opponent team. Because I think in this position, my Tassi is going to cast ultimate first. Can go for the confining spell. Okay, here we go. Let's see, can we get the win against this team? Yeah, so our Iron gets interrupted, and our Tassi cast... And it's really weird how the timing works, because like the Lily May interrupts our Iron, we don't interrupt their Iron, but my Tassi is able to immediately cast because of the Iron protecting her, and it's just game over from this point. Like, whoever can cast first with Tassi has such a huge advantage. Now the opponent Tassi can cast though, so we're not... Oh no, wait, the Tassi's already dead. Somehow we kill the Tassi so quickly. Okay, but look at this. So after Sonja has gone down, the buff has been removed from the Tassi. But I've done other testing where like the buff, the Crimson Covenant, remains on the allies, or at least the animation remains, even after the hero goes down. So in this fight, Sonja didn't really do anything. She just died really quickly. She just provided the minor attack buff at the beginning of the match, but I think... Oh, it was because the ally died. It wasn't because Sonja died. It was because... No. Well, she was the only ally, right? The Tassi. And Tassi was alive. So I guess it had something to do with the Sonja dying. Okay, let's see the rank 4 player. Okay, also running the energy tiles with Harak this time. Again, the Iron can take and intercept the Lily May interruption. And actually, based on that previous fight, I would then want to have Tasi here, maybe. But then Sonja can't buff up the Tasi. Here, like, she'll be taking bonus damage, but I think I'm fine with that. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Let's try the Enlightening Spell this time. No, do we need it? No, we don't need it, I don't think. We can go for the Confining Spell. Okay, round 2. Let's see what happens here. Iron gets interrupted. Tasi's going to cast her ultimate. The thing is, after Tasi casts her first ultimate on the energy tile, it's pretty much game over. Like, we destroy the Harak, we destroy all the major damage threats of the opponent. All that is left is the Lily May, which, like we mentioned, she cannot solo the team from full health on her own. Here, Sonja survived the whole fight, but herself was not really dealing that much. We can try Sonja on the energy tile. Yeah, we should try Sonja on the energy tile in the next round we face a defense like that. Okay, Lion, he's running a meta defense. He's running the Harak team, okay. Now, here we do not want a Sylvina Vala. We need to bring some different options. I like Tasi a lot with Sonja, because basically Tasi has a lot of survivability. She's almost definitely going to survive the whole fight. The other hero I like is actually Scarlita, because Scarlita is up in the air. She's not going to die, so she's going to be a surviving ally with the buff. And she's going to stack up her buffs and come back down pretty much fully buffed up with the attack. We don't have a healer, which could be a bit of a problem, but we need some. Actually, the main thing I'm worried about is the enemy Harak, right? We need to go eat through the Harak before he can ramp up. So I think we're going to have to go for Dunlinger Diurnal type team. Dunlinger and Diurnal. Diurnal is where is Diurnal? Here. Okay, we'll go for a team like this. Okay, have the Enlightening Spell onto the Diurnal and the buff from Sonja as well. Do we want to go for Tasi, or do we want to go for? I mean, Tasi is fine, but I think we could also go for a healer instead. I like Lily May, of course. She's just a solid option in a lot of teams. But yeah, we want another real buff source for the Diurnal. Maybe we just go for the full buffing strategy of Diurnal. We can go for Smokey. And we can go for... Could even go for Laika. Laika, Damien. But Laika immediately gives a buff at the beginning of the match. So let's go for Laika. Okay, and Laika can be the other ally that we are buffing up. The only thing you have to worry about is like the heroes who you're buffing can kind of become a liability, because if they take a lot of damage, some of that damage is going to be like transferred over to the other Covenant members. Okay, so we're going to be ramping up massively here. We have all the buffs right from the beginning. There we go. We got our burst, and now the Diurnal arrows are coming through. The Harak is still alive, which is scary, but we kill him in time. And there we go. So Sonja's acting as a buffer for Diurnal in this team comp, and it worked out well. Like, that was a quick nuke. I actually want to try the same team against the rank 1 player, Rachel, to see whether we can nuke them first. But it, like, when you're fighting against the enemy Diurnal, it's really scary, because even if like it would be up to RNG, right? Like, who actually attacks first, who does that massive damage nuke first. And the opponent has like a Paragon 2 down, we have a Paragon 1, so it feels kind of risky. We're going to go back to the energy tiles, and we're going to try Sonja on the energy tile now. The problem is when Sonja is on... Okay, well, we can put Sonja on the back energy tile, that's fine. Because then she can at least provide a buff to our team. But what I'm worried about is that I don't want their Tasi casting ultimate. So I think I'm going to have to still go for this position and just give up on Sonja's buffs. But that loses a lot of value for her. Because the thing is, if I have it like this, and like, let's say my Sonja casts her ultimate, but like then the Tasi interrupts and casts her ultimate before my Tasi can cast, that's going to be a problem. Because what it seemed like is that like the backline tile ally on my team will always cast, but then the front line might not cast before the enemy Tasi, and that's a problem. So I think I'm going to have to go like this and just forget about the buffs of Sonja. Okay, final hero. Final hero can be... I mean, Damien would be fine, but I think we're going to go for the tankiness in the front. Gonna go for this. Okay, energy onto Tasi. Damage reduction onto Lily May. No, I'm gonna go for like this. This way we have the illusion tanking the damage from the Lily May. Or maybe my Iron is actually going to take the damage. But anyway, let's see what happens, guys. Here we go. With the confining spell. Okay. Now, my Sonja gets interrupted rather than the Iron, but still my Tassi is able to cast her ultimate, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, because, oh, we needed, I guess, to put the Iron more frontline. If we had the Iron in the upper left corner, maybe he would be able to cast ultimate first. Or, like, basically, Lily May would interrupt him before my Sonja. So I'm going to try that again. With the Iron in the front. Because I want to see the Sonja immediate ultimate cast. But you also want to have Sonja buffing up your team. Okay, I'm going to try again. But I'm going to try now with Sonja on the back tile. And see what happens. I'm worried that the enemy Tassi is going to cast her ultimate before mine, though. That's what I'm really worried about. Let's just go for the Enlightening spell onto Lily May to power up more. Okay, let's see what happens here. So yeah, to interrupt my Iron, my Tassi still cast first. Maybe it's like an offense advantage. How come Sonja's not ulting? Oh, because she wasn't in range to ult anyone. So she still had a delayed ultimate cast. Oh, and she was buffing up none of my allies. I should have put Lily May next to the Sonja so she could be buffed up by the Sonja. That would have been better than the energy from the Freyasto. So that would have been the better positioning. Okay, so this is another type of team that you can try. This would be pretty strong, actually. Having the Tassi, or sorry, the Lily May being buffed up by the Sonja with the Sonja on the energy tile. Because we know Sonja is really good on energy tiles. Because she can immediately cast her ultimate, which means then she is going to be acquiring the buffs that she provides to her allies without actually absorbing it. Like, they will still be buffed, but she will also be buffed. So we're looking for the rank 4, the rank 5 player who have the special tiles. Okay, and we're going to do this now. Okay, guys, here we go. Okay, so Iron gets interrupted. Tassi casts her ultimate. Sonja is not in a position to ultimate anyone. So it's kind of a late ultimate cast, but then she's going to gain the buffs. Look at her. Now she has the buffs which have been given to our Lily May. The opponent Tassi is able to cast her ultimate, which is a problem. But Sonja is just barely tanky enough to survive, partially thanks to the buffs she has. The Skelly is not dealing true damage because there are not enough surviving allies, and we finish it off right here. Okay, guys, but overall, this is kind of like what Sonja is capable of doing. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and you got a good idea of what she can do. She is an overall strong hero, especially for PvP, a good option. So, definitely, I think we'll have to keep waiting and seeing to see her potential also for Dream Realm. For today, it looked like really close that she came to with compared to the best Heroic team, but not quite good enough. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. That's going to be it for this one. I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now.